Thank you. Thank you very much, dear Snezhka, dear Executive President, dear friends of cultural heritage. Well, I would like to start by thanking Europa Nostra for being a long-standing, unwavering partner of ours at the European Commission. And this is why I'm really very happy to be here with you, because remember, the European Cultural Heritage Summit was introduced during the European Year of Cultural Heritage in 2018, and the fact that it continues to bring the community together year on year means something strong, something tangible, something that it's really up to all of us to transmit to the next generation. So for me, first of all, it shows the commitment of everyone in this room to culture and to our unique cultural heritage. But it also shows that the European year had a lasting impact. Its follow-up is tangible, and our efforts then to bring the community together continue to bear fruit. So I cannot imagine a more pressing time for this community to come together and fight for a value-based and culture-driven Europe. After 2 years dominated by the COVID-19 pandemic, we are now witnesses to a war that broke out on the European continent as the result of the Russian aggression against Ukrainian sovereignty. We have seen the ongoing efforts of Putin to muzzle Ukrainian culture and identity. Despite international conventions, international instruments aimed at preventing such actions, cultural heritage has been destroyed and some more is under threat as we speak. So, in my short address today, I would like to stay focused on two main issues. Of course, first, our support for Ukraine, because that's value in action. And of course, after, I would like to share with you how together we can transform culture into the binding element throughout all policies to face the biggest challenges of our times, notably climate change. So first, let me begin by recalling that to stand up for our values and for the preservation of culture in Europe is to stand on the side of peace and righteousness. And we have every intention to show that this is where we stand by helping safeguard and restore Ukrainians' cultural heritage. Dear Deputy Minister, we are so glad that you are with us. Major crises like COVID-19, the war in Ukraine, but also climate change, do require a culture-driven response. Not least because culture has always been at the intersection of unity, solidarity, understanding, and peace, but also because it fosters the creativity we need to find suitable solutions. We cannot respond to the barbarity of war without the humanity culture carries with it. And so, as European Commission, we are working alongside all of you, our partners, to deliver. Remember, since the beginning of the war, we have been supporting and will go on to support the Ukrainian cultural and creative sectors and its professionals. We'll continue to provide grants, mobility schemes, mapping the cultural and creative actors and their needs through different programs. Maybe just to mention some examples: House of Europe program, Culture Moves Europe, Creative Europe, or the EU for Culture Regional Project and Cultural Relations Platform Initiative. Just a few examples. In the framework of House of Europe, we had a specific grant aimed at digitalizing Ukrainian museum collections and developing a digital register of national cultural heritage. In 2023, we are setting up €5 million worth of targeted actions from the Creative Europe program, all to the benefit of Ukrainian cultural organizations and professionals. A special call has been launched 2 weeks on the 13th of September. I'm not speaking only, we have to act. And we already adopted a €2 million project on safeguarding cultural heritage led by the Alif Foundation. Beyond financial support, my team is also working with Ukrainian professionals on quality methodology and practices in order to safeguard their cultural heritage. We started a discussion with the Deputy Minister yesterday. Count on our support. And all of this, in addition to the projects launched already in 2022, which already involve Ukrainian partners, notably in cooperation and projects in literature and translation. Remember, we have winners from Ukraine for this year's edition of the European Prize of Literature. So you can understand all these actions are aimed at supporting the cultural sector in Ukraine. Yet we are also in constant dialogue with Interpol and Europol to prevent illicit trafficking of Ukrainian cultural goods. We don't talk enough about this. And we need simply not to repeat some of the errors that we already have seen in the past. So what I would like to express here, it's my hope that all these actions will have positive impact. Because we cannot forget that we are not the main actors in the struggle to preserve and protect Ukrainian heritage. We can only stand by the Ukrainian people who are first line. Yesterday, I was really so proud to see our Ukrainian laureates along the 30 heritage initiatives awarded with these European Heritage Awards, Europa Nostra Awards. And again, my warmest congratulations, because that's not a simple prize. That's a symbol that together with culture, we can build and rebuild peace. That's the fundamental value of what unites us. Of course, with the challenges of the war in parallel, we need to harness the power of culture to contribute to our solution to the ever-growing threat of climate change. And here, I would like to say, dear Snezhka, that in my mind, always Europa Nostra will stay the first one to raise the role of culture for succeeding our ambitions in the framework of the Green Deal. I will never forget a lot of surprised faces. What are you talking about? At the same time, a lot of impressed faces, concrete solutions, concrete needs, practices. So what I would like to say here is that really thanks to you, and in the framework of this Green Deal and climate change ambitions, what you have shown to us is that culture is our oxygen. It makes us feel alive. It keeps the treasures of heritage alive throughout the centuries. And it is a powerful driver to bring our societies together through the common sense of belonging, which can be only developed otherwise. However, culture should not be limited to cultural heritage and common values. Culture is also an innovating ecosystem with a unique ability to come up with creative solutions to the most pressing challenges we face. So I think that, yes, that's a chance that for the first time, the Commissioner for Culture is responsible for innovation too. The Commissioner for Education and Youth is responsible for research. So it's really up to us to use this opportunity. And I would like again to express my gratitude to Europa Nostra, because that's for me the main actor showing that synergies, innovative solutions, that means something concrete on the ground, especially because people coming from the world of cultural heritage, from cultural and creative industries, are so strongly involved. So my question here is how we can use the different possibilities that we have in order to transform culture into the driver of this climate change action. Because we have a lot. We have your action already. Just last week we published a report where 25 member states worked a lot in order to show good practices, how we can strengthen the cultural heritage resilience for climate change. And you know how much I stay prudent with the open method of coordination, because I think that this simply don't speak to any simple citizen. We need really to see how together we can transform some of the good conclusions or recommendations into something that will be with great sense for our citizens. And that's a challenge. The other thing, it's of course our initiative on the new European Bauhaus. And you mentioned that's my bridge. Where we are, we started from scratch. We simply said that the new European Bauhaus, that's the soul of the European Green Deal. That's a bridge between the world of science and technology and the world of art and culture. But we are fully aware that we need sustainable solutions, sustainable funding. We need to see how all this extraordinary mobilization that we witnessed with the new European Bauhaus can be transformed into critical mass of people working together and showing that here, by this ecosystem approach, we can unlock the potential of the cultural and creative industries and sectors in Europe. And cultural heritage, for me, here has a particularly important role to play, because we can't shape the future without taking care of what those that were our predecessors transferred to us. So that's a challenge. We need to see how this new European Bauhaus initiative will definitely transform our daily lives and living spaces. And yeah, I call on your imagination to continue to co-create together with us this inclusive and sustainable future that is beautiful. And Snezhka will always repeat here that Europa Nostra was for me the first one to be so excited by showing that, again, on our European continent, we are talking about beauty. And we need to insist on that, because even today, that's beautiful for our eyes, for our minds, for our souls. And yes, I think that here the challenge is to see how together we can go to the next step. I will say in only one sentence here: count on my firm support and the support of Horizon Europe program. I can't reveal everything at this stage, but for me it's really important that we continue just simply to do what you are doing. You are bringing together people from different backgrounds, cutting across disciplines, and building on participation at all levels. And that's a lesson that we learned from you. Now, that's not the only one example. You can see we talk spontaneously about Creative Europe program, about the work with our member states. We have then the new European Bauhaus. My plea is really think out of the box and think more spontaneously about the new cluster on culture and creativity within Horizon Europe program. What I can see that until now, the world of cultural heritage, cultural creative sectors don't think spontaneously about these new opportunities created by Horizon Europe program, and think more and more about the new European Institute of Innovation and Technology and the new community of innovation and communication that we created 2 months ago. Remember, I took the engagement to do it 2 years ago. Now it's here, and it's here for you. You'd like to have our first actions in 1 year. So we need here your contribution. We need your expertise. We need your innovative ideas. And I'm sure that this Agora will help us a lot. So again, different elements, at least those elements were not here 2 years ago. We have Creative Europe, we have Horizon Europe, we have a new kick with the EIT, we have Next Generation. So again, for me, the challenge is let's continue to work together in order to have content, but content that is adequate to your needs, not the needs of the European Commission. That's the most important. So allow me here just to take 1 minute more and to talk about young people, because we need the energy of our young generation. It's the European Year of Youth. And yes, we have to talk much more about what will be the legacy of youth engaged in cultural heritage for this European Year of Youth, because we don't have so much time. But for me, young people are our natural allies in our mission. They are the future custodians of our cultural heritage and have been consistent advocates for sustainability and climate neutrality. So I'm so grateful here to see Europa Nostra as a firm supporter of youth engagement, solidifying this bridge between our communities. Definitely the word bridge will be one of the key words in this edition of the Agora. So, dear friends, before I conclude, I would like to leave you with a quote of former Czech President Václav Havel. Hope is definitely not the same thing as optimism. It is not the conviction that something will turn out well, but the certainty that something makes sense, regardless of how it turns out. This is the belief that sustains the strong resistance in Ukraine, the righteousness of their cause, and we stand beside them in this pursuit. We'll add our weight to their cause and preserve our continent's cultural heritage, along with the rich tapestry of culture that informs the very idea of Europe. Because as per President Havel's words, it makes sense. The power of creative thinking and imagination will continue to provide us with the vision of the future we want, a fairer future for all citizens. And this is the ultimate sense of any political commitment. So now I wish all of you, Europa Nostra, young people, heritage enthusiasts, my dear friends, a very productive Agora. Together we can not only picture a future guided by peace and the values of the European Union, but also set it in motion as we leverage our creativity to enmesh our culture in everything we do. Thank you very much.